So spring training is here, and the Houston Astros are having to talk, and some of it is cringy as hell, and some of it is really bad, and obviously it's just terrible. They've had plenty of time to prepare, and they're coming out and saying stuff like this, and especially Jim Crane. What the hell, Jim Crane? What is wrong with these people? Epic fail.
And he drives it into right center field, hit it hard. This baby is way back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. Man, I said I was going to talk a little bit about the manager of the Astros, AJ Hinch. I did not like his interview. I talked about it. You could check out that video. He did have a follow-up about the buzzer question, and he wanted to go ahead and ensure everybody that he doesn't know anything about no buzzers or devices as far as he knows. I don't know why he had to answer it in such an evasive way. It was completely weak, and it made me think that they did use buzzers. It made me finally come to the opinion that they did. Do I know that for a fact? Of course not. Would I put my life on the line for that? No, of course not. I don't know. But I am starting to think they did have some kind of buzzer, especially with that Altuve video, etc. But you know what? Fine. He came out and clarified. Okay, you know what? You clarified it. To your knowledge, there was no buzzers. Great. Okay, cool with that. So let's forget the buzzers, okay? I was going to talk about them in more detail, but now there's something even more crazy to talk about, and that's this insane Astros press conferences that are going on, these insane things that they're talking about, and their apologies, their quote-unquote apologies. Josh Reddick didn't apologize at all. He said, I don't feel like I need to apologize.
Do you feel the need to reach out to friends or opponents that play for the Dodgers and the Yankees, teams that you guys beat en route to that championship?
I don't think so, man.
Why not?
Just don't feel like we should.
Most of the interviews, like Jose Altuve and some of the other ones, Alex Bregman, some of those interviews and some of those press conferences, some of those guys sounded robotic, but I don't want to come after them. It's a tough situation. You got to do what you got to do. But I will say it was cringe. It was like they were reading a script. Didn't feel much. The only guy I felt like was genuine. Watch Carlos Correa talk, and I'm sorry. He came off the best in my opinion. And maybe again, I know the guy's cool as hell, but that has nothing to do with this. If he would have been fake, I would have said he's fake. If he would have said something horrible, I would have said it. He didn't. He came straight forward.
But it was definitely wrong. It was definitely wrong, and we should have stopped it at the time.
You knew it was wrong?
Yeah, it was wrong. It was wrong. To tell everybody that it's not right to do that. You don't want to be standing here and having to do this because of that. You don't want to be remembered as that type of person. So that's what we're here talking to you guys today.
We didn't have to do this. It was wrong. We shouldn't have done this. And he even said when they asked about Carlos Beltran, if he was this mastermind and everybody, had to do what he said no, that's not the case. Carlos Beltran was cool. We all made our own decisions, including myself, made my own decision. Really took ownership, and I thought it was cool. The other guys, it's fine. Other than Josh Reddick, who didn't want to apologize at all. I don't know what to say about that. That's just insane. Like, you got nothing to say. But Jim Crane, what a clown. This organization over and over. I'm sorry, Astros fans. I don't mean to come after your team, but oh my God. After all this, he comes out and talks about that the sign stealing didn't help anything. It didn't change anything. He basically said, no, it didn't do anything. It didn't change the result. It didn't change. Didn't affect anything. Of course it affected something. That's why you did it. What are you talking about? You're the guy that acted like you had no knowledge of this. Doesn't sound like you had no knowledge of this if you're trying to make excuses for it and say that it didn't really matter. That sounds like someone who was involved, who wants to make excuses. If I was the owner of a team and didn't know and didn't have any idea, oh my goodness, I would have said, I'm so embarrassed. I am so sorry. If they asked me, did this affect the performance of the results? I would say, well, I would assume so. I don't know what would have happened. This is terrible because I don't know if we truly would have won the World Series now. I don't know if we're truly champions anymore. This is absolutely devastating, and I'm so sorry to the fans and everyone in baseball that this happened under my watch, under my team, and I don't know what else to say. It didn't matter. It didn't affect anything anyway.
This didn't impact the game. This didn't impact the game. This didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series.
What a clown. What a clown. These people, they had so much time to prepare. They have millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars if they need to hire some PR professionals and figure out what to say. What's going to be the best result? You just say something I just said. People will understand. People are not that bad. People will hear you and say, okay, man, I'm going to applaud that. Or at minimum, they'll say, I don't believe you, but fine, let's play baseball. But no, you come out and say something like that. It was bad, man. It was bad. A lot of what the Astros were saying was just like, oh, yeah, Alex Bregman, it sounded like he was straight reading a script. I'm sorry. But damn, but yeah. Oh, Jim Crane, what are you doing? As for the players, like I said, Verlander was pretty good. Some of them were all right. Some of them were a little cringy. But, hey, they all had to do what they had to do in their own way. They were all part of it. I don't think that every evil person in baseball just happened to be on the 2017 Astros. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of good guys on that team. There's probably some guys not so good, just like every team. But that's the team where this came into play, and it's a tough situation. You don't want to go call out your team. You don't want to, what can you do if you're in that situation? It's tough. I understand that. But I mean, the way they're handling it is just mind-blowing. First, with the A.J. Hinch interview, what the hell was that? The most political non-answers I've ever seen in my life. And then Jim Crane, all this time to prepare. You knew the questions were coming. You knew you were going to have to address it. And you couldn't come out and just say, it's absolutely horrible. If they ask you, did this affect the game? You say, probably so. At least you say, I think it must have. I think it must have. We don't know what would have happened. And it's terrible. I know it's hard. And on the spot, I might be more forgiving. But with so much time to understand this and process and prepare, how can you blow it that bad? How? I know you're proud of that world championship. I get that. It's like someone who graduates with a PhD from college and then come to find out they cheated on every exam. And, they say, well, did you really earn it? Would you have earned it without cheating on every exam? And you go, oh yeah, I would have earned it anyway, because you're proud of that. But you got to know, on a public stage like this, people listening, you have to find some honesty there, or at least get some advice from somebody on what to say. And it wasn't that. You got to come out and say, we don't know what would have happened. Yes, of course it helped performance. Of course, knowing the pitch helps performance. I don't care if Jim Crane doesn't play baseball. That's common sense. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. If it wouldn't help, they wouldn't do signs. They'd just be like, fastball. Be like, okay, fastball come in. They don't do that because they don't want the hitter to know. If the hitter knows every time, everything is jacked. There would be no signs. It's stupid. Jim Crane, what a clown. What a terrible, that was just embarrassing. I watched the interviews. I mean, whatever. They were fine for the most part, other than 2 or 3 that I found to be really cringy, really bad, and then 2 or 3 that were actually pretty quality interviews and quality statements. And one of them was Carlos Correa. Like I said, Carlos Correa seems like a really cool dude, and I think that he really does feel bad. I think a lot of them feel bad. I think they felt bad at the time, but it's like, what do? You going with this or you're not going with this? You're part of a team every single day. You live together. They see them more than their family. I get it. I get that it's a tough situation, and I'm willing to forgive and move on and not make a big thing about it forever. I'm willing to leave it in the past. But damn, Jim Crane, A.J. Hinch, you guys are terrible. I see this a lot with celebrities and a lot with professional athletes. When they get in hot water, they get in trouble. They just keep digging a deeper and deeper hole instead of trying to dig their way out, which is possible. But damn, what the hell is wrong with you? Didn't affect nothing, Jim Crane says. Didn't affect nothing. Well, just like when A.J. Hinch talked about the buzzers and he changed my mind on the buzzers, Jim Crane just changed my mind on whether he knew about this thing or not. I'm going to say he knew. He knew something. I'm not saying before that I thought he didn't know, but I was willing to say I'm not sure and give the benefit of the doubt. Now, I think he knew. I think he knew exactly what the hell was going on. And as for the buzzers, I did hear one player, I don't remember who, but he said absolutely not, no buzzers. I loved his answer because, hey, straight up, no, absolutely not. Now, it takes some guts to lie like that because it might come out later and he's going to look bad if it does. So I will give that player credit for saying absolutely no buzzers, period, which was like, that's the first time I've heard that. Wow, thank you for giving a freaking straight answer. Maybe there was no buzzers. Maybe indeed there wasn't. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't know, but I tend to think there was something. There was some kind of device. I tend to think that that's why we had the La Camisa No, my wife, she said don't do that. Anyway, thanks guys so much for joining me today right here on the Humm Baby Baseball channel. We're talking baseball all the time. Check out my latest videos when I talk about the best off-season teams, when I talked about some of the recent signings, and we're getting ready. Gonna have a San Francisco Giants preview coming up soon, and previews for some of the other teams as well, including the Phillies. Gonna try to get Philly special on. So look for that, guys. It's gonna be great. Appreciate you so much. Check out the links in the description. Check out my Patreon page. Check out the website, humbabybaseball.com. And I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too. See ya! When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oregon.